With Uldren's return to Destiny made official with Bungie's recent Vidoc, I thought we'd cover everything we know about Uldren's story so far from the beginning and kind of get a refresher of who he is and what he's done in the past up to this point. And I guess as his time as Uldren Sov before he was reborn as a Guardian. I'm going to try and cover all the important bits, but like I said, I'm just going to cover the story on a surface level up to this point. Not go too deep into the lore, but we are going to cover pretty much everything that he has done that's significant up to this point. If you go on to enjoy this video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe for more, but let's dive right into Uldren's story. The Prince of the Reef, the Master of Crows, the Queen's brother, Uldren Sov is known by many different titles. One of the most infamous characters inside the Destiny universe, the tale of Uldren Sov is kind of a complicated one. You may know him as the man who killed Cayde 6, but his story begins thousands of years ago, long before he executed the famous Hunter Vanguard. To understand who Uldren is, it's key to know the origins of the Awoken, so be sure to check out this video I made covering the Awoken's origin story. It'll be linked in the description if you haven't seen it. But to briefly go over it, Uldren was not always an Awoken. In fact, during the Golden Age of Humanity, the man who would become Uldren Sov was known as Uldwen. He and his sister Mara, as well as their mother Osana, were 3 of the 900 crew members aboard a colony ship called the Yang Li Wei. In their travels, their ship became trapped in the darkness until the Traveler intervened and sent out a blast of light to fight off the darkness. The result of this blast from the Traveler was the crew and the 40,000 colonists becoming reborn as Awoken, born of both light and dark. Seriously, check out the video below in the description for more details about exactly what happened. Now, as an Awoken, Uldren was beloved and admired by the Awoken people. He was famous for many deeds. He was leader of the Crows, and he was the Prince of the Awoken. But he knew underneath it all, the love of the people was due to his association with the Queen, his own sister Mara. Seeking to be more than just the Queen's brother, Uldren came up with a plan to impress everyone and even most importantly, his beloved Queen and sister Mara. His plan was to venture into the Black Garden with one of his crows, Julian Till, and learn of its importance. The duo ventured into Meridian Bay, fending off Cabal and Vex as they searched for a way to trick the Vex into opening the gate to the garden. Eventually, Uldren came up with a plan, to lure out the Gate Lord and let the Cabal do the dirty work of killing it. The plan ultimately worked, and both Uldren and Julian entered the Vex Gate to the Black Garden. During their venture, Uldren and Julian saw many things. The garden seemed alive, vines reaching out to them, things growing in front of their eyes. It was miraculous. During their journey, Uldren and Julian came across a unit of Cabal soldiers that had been pulled into the garden through time by Vex. They were able to take out most of the Cabal with little problem, leaving one injured legionary alive. Upon inspecting the injured Cabal legionary, Uldren learned that the garden's secrets could grow into one's body and mind, as they did to this Cabal legionary, and this intrigued him even more about what other secrets lied ahead. Uldren grew very fond of the garden and its varying beauty, and wished to protect it and keep it safe from everyone. He wondered what Mara would think. What if they could explore this place together one day? After much time exploring and discovering its secrets, Uldren and Julian eventually retreated from the garden and returned to the reef. Uldren especially eager to share his discovery with his sister. He'd managed to steal some flowers from the garden called asphodelia and presented them to Mara with hopes of winning her favor and impressing her. Initially, Mara did seem impressed, but once the two were alone, Mara expressed her displeasure with Uldren and how he defied her orders to never go to the garden. Instead of being happy with Uldren, Mara was just disappointed and pretty much crushed Uldren's heart. He just could never seem to impress her. Now, this was the first major event in Uldren's history, going to the garden in hopes to impress his sister, seeking approval. But it basically backfired for him and he only left her more disappointed. And it gives us a glimpse into his character a bit more and shows us that he hasn't really changed much, that he does everything for his sister. The most important thing, though, was the journey to the Black Garden itself and his discoveries, which will tie into our Guardian story. Now, the next important event I want to briefly note is the War with the Wolves. This was a war between the Fallen's House of Wolves and the Awoken. Now, Uldren intercepted a Fallen transmission that would rally the Fallen houses together for a major attack on the last city. Before they could attack, the Awoken were able to intercept the House of Wolves on Ceres, and defeat many of them there, resulting in much of the House of Wolves to be scattered across the reef. After a few more battles with the House of Wolves, Uldren led the Awoken to a few more victories against the Fallen and were able to fully defeat them and capture their leaders. The remaining House of Wolves now served Mara Sov and the Reef. So shortly before our Guardian shows up at the Reef in the vanilla Destiny 1 campaign, Uldren, through help of one of his crows, discovered that the Black Heart and the Soul Progeny inside the garden were growing stronger. He shared this information with his sister and wished to keep it secret. But not long after this, we show up at the Reef asking about that information on the Black Garden.
Where did all this come from?
Every ship that could escape fled Earth during the collapse. They made it this far. I guess they died out here.
It's a graveyard. How did the Awoken survive?
No one knows.
Intruder bearing 127, you have crossed into the realm of the Awoken. State your business or be fired on by order of the Queen.
Don't look at me. Better say something.
We are from Earth. We're here to seek the Council of the Awoken.
Conform to my trajectory. Any deviation will be taken as an act of aggression.
Looks like we're in the right place.
Why is the right place always so terrifying?
So, these are the trespassers demanding an audience.
We didn't mean to trespass.
The Queen herself judges who may or may not enter the realm. Me? I see no reason she should be available for whatever washes up at the Reef. But here we are.
We've come to ask for help.
It is afraid of the fallen. It does not understand these ones are mine.
Apologies, Your Grace.
I am a Guardian from Earth. We're searching for the Black Garden.
Why?
We seek to destroy the darkness at its heart.
You want to turn it into a battleground? How unimaginative.
Do you know where it is?
Everyone knows where it is. The hard part is getting in.
Can you help us?
And why would we do that?
The Queen requests counsel with her brother.
Yes, that's good. That's good. Why not? We'll make you a key. How's that? All we need is the head of a Vex Gate Lord.
A Gate Lord? We...
Why do you want a Vex head?
Oh, we don't. And I doubt we'll get one either. But it's your only hope of getting into the Black Garden.
We will return.
Or die on Venus. Either way.
Well, we slayed the Gate Lord and returned to the Reef.
It is alive. And still has its ball.
There is no shame in running away, Guardian. Apart from the cowardice and failure of it, it's an excellent strategy.
We didn't run.
Was no Gate Lord slain, brother?
Oh, we slayed a Gate Lord.
Ghost. We need to find the Black Garden.
They don't even know where it is.
Let us tell them. Search the Gate Lord for that which gains them entrance.
Why? If you wish them certain death, just kill them here.
Often when we guess at others' motives, we reveal only our own.
My motive is simply loyalty to a people. A queen and a sister.
Then please, take what is required.
Dead, unfortunately. A wasted journey, I'm afraid.
Perhaps. But I think these ones resourceful. We gift it, in sympathy for their traveler.
Mars. 84 North, 32 East, Meridian Bay.
I have shown you benevolence, Guardian. Should the Awoken ever need an ally, I will call on you. And expect you to answer.
She's saying you owe us, Guardian.
I understand. Your Grace.
Good luck getting through the exclusion zone.
Not long after this, we went on to defeat the Heart of the Black Garden, likely to Uldren's surprise, and our dealings with him kind of came to an end. That was until the remaining House of Wolves rebelled against the Queen a few months later. Mara Sov called upon us for our help, as we did owe her a favor for her help with us in the Black Garden. Uldren would strategize with Petra and Mara on how to deal with the rebellion, and would eventually help guide us and lead us to victory against the House of Wolves and the capture of Skolas. Roughly 4 months later, Uldren and nearly the entire Awoken race fought in the Battle of Saturn that saw the Awoken fighting off fleets of Hive ships led by Oryx, the Taken King. Partway into battle, Oryx used his powerful dreadnought weapon against the Awoken fleet, wiping them out en masse. Uldren was presumed to be killed by the blast, along with his sister Mara, but it turns out that he actually crash-landed on Mars, and was able to avoid detection for 2 years while searching for his sister Mara, who he believed was still alive as well. He laid low, evading everyone including his own followers, until one day he intentionally allowed himself to be captured by the fallen House of Kings, who brought him to their Kell. The King's Kell ultimately submitted to Uldren and asked for his help to reunite the fallen houses. In the year after the Siva crisis, Uldren and Krask, the King's Kell, worked to reunite the fallen houses across the solar system in hopes of bringing them under a new banner. Their newfound alliance worked, and soon Uldren and Krask were leading a massive fallen army. After the Red War, it became harder and harder for Uldren to feel that Mara was alive, and no longer heard her voice, which drove him to madness. He turned on his own people, killing them en masse, stole from them, brought destruction to his reef home, all in the name of Mara's death. He consumed fallen ether to numb himself and continued to cause destruction. This is when Uldren began to show signs of the darkness inside him, even his eyes visibly showing that darkness. Some presume it got in during the blast from Oryx's weapon. Others believe it got in from committing heinous crimes against his own kind. Whichever reason, Uldren had the darkness inside him. It was around this time that he started hearing Mara Sov's voice calling to him again. This time, it was an illusion from the darkness. Her voice led him to Fikrul, a previous Archon priest of the House of Wolves. Fikrul had been cast out by his own kind in the many years prior to our Guardian's resurrection, and when Uldren came across him, he was very badly damaged. Uldren wished that he could save the dying Fallen, and unknowingly that wish was heard by Riven of 1,000 Voices. Riven granted Uldren's wish by infusing some of Uldren's darkness into Fikrul's ether, creating Dark Ether, and making Fikrul the first Scorn. From that moment, Fikrul referred to Uldren as Father, believing it was Uldren that had granted him his new life and powers. To show his gratitude, Fikrul would assist Uldren in defeating the House of Kings and their Kel Krask, and would raise them up now as Scorn. Uldren continued his search for his sister Mara and tracked down Ilyn, the Coven Mother of the Tekkens, and the advisor to the Queen. Uldren accused her of trapping Mara inside the Dreaming City and demanded to let her go. Ilyn denied this, having thought herself that Mara had died, and accused Uldren of madness. After a little while, Uldren oddly turned himself into his people to pay for his crimes against them. Petra and Cade Six both felt that something was off about the situation, yet didn't quite know what to do, so they imprisoned him anyway into a cell in the lowest parts of the Prison of Elders. While imprisoned, Uldren and Fikrul were able to convince Varix into freeing them because of Varix's loyalty to the Fallen, and because of Varix's disagreement with Petra about imprisoning Uldren and the Barons. And this is essentially what kicks off the Forsaken campaign.
No! Cade! He's gone! This isn't a prison riot. It's a prison break!
The airlock on Deck Zero. It's the only way out this far down. They're going to escape!
Not if I get there first. This is awkward. You got a gun I can borrow?
No. But I do have a bullet with your name on it.
Any second now, my partner is gonna roll in here and kill every last one of you. And you, my man.
This is going to hurt. A lot. Any last words?
How's your sister?
He didn't feel a thing. Yes, I am humbled by your gracious acceptance. Mara Sov, my sister, your queen, may be gone. But she is with us now, and always.
As for you, my friends, my barons, you embraced me when I was cast out. And for that, I gift to you the bounty of the Tangled Shore. Go, unleash upon the fallen chaos.
By your grace, Father.
You would be proud. The Reefborn's love for their queen remains undiminished.
Love is fleeting, but devotion, now that is forever. Not one of them has ever shown more strength of devotion than you, my dear brother. The Awoken cannot be trusted. You and I know that better than anyone. Together, we can bestow upon our people the fortune they so richly deserve. Extinction. Let us see what dreams may come.
Fikrul continued to lead the Scorn and Barons while we Guardians took them out one by one. Uldren would continue his search for Mara, while unknowingly obeying Riven's orders who he thought were Mara's.
Be brave. Now take it. Move.
Damn!
This is as far as you go.
Please, for you I go instead. Oh no, darkness lives here. Death, you are not of ether. Can't bring you back.
All the same,
Yes, Father. We ever serve and await return.
Go. Inspire. And avenge your murdered friends.
There's no more room for fear, dear brother.
I'm not afraid.
Of course not. Oh, Uldren, you have sacrificed like no other. You looked into an abyss, bowed to false kings, and suffered uncountable betrayals. You were humiliated, imprisoned, manipulated, taken, and still you gave up everything because you love. Please, brother, will you walk through hell for me one last time?
Yes.
Good. Then let us finish this. Even paradise is a prison when you can't leave. Free us. You've no idea how fortunate you are to be my chosen. You hold the flesh of a god in your hands. You are mere steps away from our salvation. Only light and dark together can unlock my way back into your world. That's it. Keep going. Free me! Pathetic fool. Thank you.
Congratulations. You have my undivided attention. Now where's my sister?
She's not here, Uldren. And if she was, this would be a whole lot easier.
So, this is to be a reckoning.
Wait, not like this. Look at him. He's finished. Even with everything he's done, we can't just...
You have no idea what he's done! If Cade was here, I know what he would do, Guardian. Do you?
Yes. What would the notorious Cade 6 do? You have his gun. Seems you get the last word. Everything I did for her. Funny. The line between light and dark is so very thin. Do you know which side you're on?
We did it. We avenged Cade 6, and Uldren was put to rest in the Dreaming City where he remained for a short amount of time. Uldren spent the next few months alone, save for his ghost, confused by the negative looks he received from the others. He doesn't remember his past. He's been reborn as a Guardian. And now, our Guardian finally meets Uldren for the first time since his revival.
We warned you it was going to be dangerous down here. Impossible.
And that is the complete story of Uldren up to this point. It'll be interesting to see what happens next for Uldren.